Hey guys, welcome to Makeup and Mental Illness or Makeup and Mental Health. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm here. I'm doing my makeup, and basically instead of just talking about the makeup that I'm using, I'm actually just going to be talking about some mental health struggles. And sometimes it's good to talk about, I guess. I have been struggling more than usual, but not, it comes in waves for me. Technically, I could say that I have BPD and CPTSD, among other things that, of course, are all just labels for surviving abuse, surviving neglect, and product of a capitalist society and whatever the fuck's going on with human beings today that are literally like demons, So I wanted to talk about PTSD today, and chronic PTSD at that. For me, by the way, I am doing a photo shoot. I'm going to be a fairy, and so I'm doing my makeup for a fairy for Halloween. So for me, I have had many really fucked up and scary things happen to me while being alone. And as a girl alone, and especially as a mother alone, the circumstances that I have not been able to change for myself deeply affect me on a daily basis, because I have been through being robbed, being raped, being stabbed, being violated. I have been through this stuff, and I've also been through it alone. I've been through people breaking into my house. Even now recently, I've been harassed on my property. It's just a lot. So when I have these symptoms of PTSD, and basically what it's like is I can't really sleep because I'm on a constant vigil. I'm the one who has to be on vigil to make sure my kids, my house is safe. And this is just how I've been forced to live. Now, obviously, if I had my own choice in life, I would be happily married and cherished, and I would have a big, strong protector husband who makes me feel like I am so safe that I don't have to worry about any of these things, right? Any of these things. But I don't have that. So this is the reason why I am struggling. And I don't even like to say struggling, because the truth of the matter is, this is what your nervous system is designed to do. When you're living in fight or flight mode, it's scary. It's I wake up, if I do fall asleep in the night, any tiny little sound is making me shoot up with my heart just pounding. Okay? And I mean pounding. Like, it is terrifying to me because anything I hear, I'm thinking, oh my God, okay, who's breaking in? You know? And even though that's only happened maybe 7 or 8 times throughout the span of like 20 years, it's still like my go-to thought when I hear something. So I am just put into this state of, do I need to defend myself? Do I need to defend my kids? And it makes my heart race because I feel like I got to be geared up, ready to fight, ready to defend. And I don't want to live like that, but that's what's happening. So this is my life. And actually, I think I'm gonna use this. It's hard. Recently, I've been feeling numb because of it. I will say that I thought I was kind of getting better, and I've really, really tried surrendering. And sometimes I can get to the point where I will really just try to surrender and say to myself, okay, you know what? If this is God's will for me to experience being murdered tonight or something happening, then this is something I need to endure, and I shouldn't have to like think about it. And then I will try to just put it all in the universe's hands, put it all in God's hands, and try to get some sleep. But I mean, that might last maybe a couple hours. Then I just wake up naturally and I'm like, okay, what time is it? You know? So I can't even tell you the last time I've ever slept peacefully through the night. I don't think I ever have. And a lot of that was, you know, just because I'm a mom, so I would be up in the middle of the night when the baby's up anyway, sleeping, you know, waking up to breastfeed and all that. So, I mean, I think it's just become like something I kind of accept. I actually kind of prefer being up at night. I'm a night owl anyways, and I feel like I can finally fall asleep usually when the sun comes up. And my kids' alarms go off like real early, like 6 something. Once I know they're up and off to school, I can usually fall back asleep, and I sleep till about 11 or so. But then at that point, when I do wake up, I feel, you know, a lot of the times I feel kind of drained. Like if I want it, like if I actually did what I wanted to do, I would. What my body wants to do is just stay asleep. But what I want to do is get up and like have a nice day and not feel scared and not feel fear and not feel anxiety. But that doesn't really happen. I'm looking for my one. Shadow Sense. I'm going to be wearing a wig, by the way. So, what did I do with that teal Shadow Sense? Really, here it is. be wearing a green, it's like a green, purple, and pink outfit. So, anyway, so yeah, so when I don't have my kids, I usually just stay up. I don't even try to go to sleep. But as I sit there and attempt to either relax, I'm always looking. I'm always like, what's that noise? Who's this? What's going on? And I know to the average person, and you wouldn't believe this shit, right? So I always lock my door. I lock every single window. I lock every single door. And then I lock my own room door. Just so I can try to feel some sense of security. Like, at least if somebody was going to come and get me, I'd hear it and have time to, figure it out. And back about last year, this happened almost around Christmas time, because I remember I was wearing my pink Skims like Snuggie onesie. It was absolutely freezing, and the way the vents work, I actually have to have a space heater in my room because the vents don't really work, and that's fine, but I have to keep my door closed anyway. And if I wanted to have my door open for airflow in the summer, like, I just don't, because I can't. Like, I can't. I need to know that my door's locked. And so about last year, I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to realize that if something's going to happen, like, whatever's meant to be is going to be. I need to, allow myself to feel safe in my own home. And it's sad that I don't. And I was really, really, really doing so much therapy about, being able to fall asleep, right? So here's what happened to me. The first time in like maybe 2 or 3 years, and like I said, this is last December, first time in like 2 or 3 years that I decided, okay, you know what, my kids aren't here. I'm gonna test this out. If anything happens, it's only me, I stayed up till about 3 in the morning, and I was like, you know what? Okay, taking a look around, like, nothing's going on. Nobody's on my phone. Like, it seems like a pretty quiet night. I'm like, all right, and I sat up. I didn't lay down. I sat myself up. I plopped pillows and I sat up in a reclining sitting up position and said, okay, I'm going to fall asleep here. I'm going to leave my room door open. Of course, the front door was locked, back door's locked. My cousin came over unannounced and literally came up the stairs and was like, hey, comes into my room, was like, hey. And I'm like, dude, waking up to a man's voice. And I'm sitting here like, why the fuck would you come into my room? Why the fuck would you wake me up? And most people don't think nothing about this because, like, I mean, I guess it's normal. My oldest son, had let him in. And it's not unusual for, my cousin would come over sometimes and he would like take my son to go get some food or, whatever. And he's a night owl too. Like, I think everybody I know is a person that would be up all night. So it's not unusual, but for me and what I was literally dealing with, that scared the absolute fucking shit out of me. And my heart started pounding and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, I struggle to ever sleep. If you see me sleeping, why not just let the beast lie? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And so basically that confirmed that no, I will not ever, I will just not ever think I can fall asleep without my door being locked. Because that literally happened. Now, if I would have just had my door shut like normal that night, and he had decided to stop by, and I just would have heard, like, he probably would have just lightly knocked on my door, because like when he stops by, he will like lightly knock, because he knows he don't want to sound like the police, right? Like, that's another thing I have PTSD from, getting harassed by the police. If I hear a knock on the door that doesn't sound like a friendly person, I'm getting super, super scared. Normally, safe people in my life understand that they should not just stop by. Like, they need to text me or call me first and get confirmation that yes, they can stop by, and I need to know when I should be expecting them. And ever since this night, he has always just been like, hey, can I stop by? And I'd be like, yes or no, But now if I would have just kept with what I usually did, which is lock my fucking door, and maybe he would have just knocked lightly, and I would have said, okay, I'm sleeping, call me later, or hold on, let me get up, give me a minute. I'm just saying, like, I don't have, that's why I hate when people call it like mental illness. It's not. It's, you are a product of your experiences, and I'm very, very, very weary of things, of anyone, and I don't care who it is, because I've been taught over and over again that it's the people that you trust the most that end up violating you. Like, I've been violated on a few different occasions by people who I trusted, and so it's been a lot. And I think that my nervous system has been really, really, really racked with this lately, more so than ever. Another thing that I've been really feeling scared about is someone who I did not know. Someone who I knew was familiar, like I'd seen them before, because I knew they had a kid at the same school or something, but like nobody would not be invited to my house. I was outside in my backyard after, like, doing all this stuff for my kids, lunch, doing the lunch dishes. I was like, I need to sit outside. I need to be in nature for a little bit. I need to try to get some peace, right? And my backyard has always been the place where I could find peace. And so I was sitting, I had my little reclining chair. It was a beautiful day. I was just facing the trees. I had my back faced to my house, And I was sitting in the reclining chair, and all of a sudden this drunk lady is behind me busting out like, hey, you need to come to the lake with me. You need to come to the river with me. And I'm like, oh my God, my heart starts pounding. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know if she was being friendly or if she was trying to kidnap me or what, but I'm like, oh, where's my son? You know, because I, like, the way I have it set up is my back porch. We have a living room and then is my porch. So, like, knowing when I went out there that my son was in the living room, he's watching TV, you know, and that scared the fucking shit out of me. And, you know, after I got up out of my reclining position and went to just say, oh, hey, what are you doing? Like, she's like, oh, I need someone to go to the river. I want to go take a raft. And she's like, come on. I'm like, no, I have my kids here. I can't leave. I'm like, you know, just trying to explain. So I'm like, let's go out front. So I like walked her out front and I was like, you know, had a little bit of a conversation or whatever. And it seemed harmless enough. It seemed like she was just looking for a friend to go to the river. You know, I live by the river, so it's not like the weirdest thing in the world, but to me, being highly guarded as I feel like I need to be, it really fucking scares me when people just pop up. And like, especially people that I've never told them where I live. Now, the only way she probably know, because obviously when school gets out, everybody's walking home. Like, you can kind of see who lives where, but I didn't know, like, somebody would be, you know, watching. But so I noticed a few days after that, while my kids were in school, I fixed myself a sandwich and I wanted to go out back because that is my peace, you know? And I started sitting at the table and I put my lunch down, and then all of a sudden my heart started busting out of my chest. And I'm like, you know what? Like, what if somebody comes back here? What if this, you know, what if somebody comes back here again? Now, the crazy thing was my door was open. She actually walked through my front door, went all the way through my house. And that made me feel really freaked out because I'm like, oh my God, I have belongings in this front room. Like, nothing was stolen or tampered with, you know. I think she was just, you know how you are. I mean, we've all been there. We've all just been drunk and wanting to socialize. But, and I mean, I've popped up at people's houses before too, but I don't just go in like, okay, maybe I have a couple times, but I mean, I felt like I was close enough to these people to where I could do that. And I was also with a whole nother friend too. I'd not done that by myself. So, you know, that really made me scared because I'm thinking, if, you know, if a lady can stop by in broad daylight and just walk into somebody's house, what's stopping a man from doing that and coming into my backyard? And I'm like looking around, I'm like, you know, nobody would see me back here. Nobody would hear me. Nobody would find me. And I just didn't feel safe. And I felt scared. And I went inside and I locked my door and I instead just ate my lunch inside. And I didn't like that because I was like, damn, like the one place I kind of felt like at peace and safe in my backyard, like now is not. And so, you know, I could go on and on about a list of experiences where I have been violently violated, you know, to where it does scare me and I don't know like how to be better, you know, and I take a lot of courses to heal from it. And I have not had a lot of success. I'm just going to be honest. Like, some days my nervous system, like, and I do so much to heal my nervous system, but it's truly like, I wish I had someone I could trust who would be here with me, and I don't have that. And because I don't have that, it scares me, and I don't like it, and I'm not happy. And like, I wish somebody cared, and they don't. Like, I told the one baby dad, like, I had to like go off in like paragraphs about it's not right that I have to be in this position to be a single mom, that, you know, I can't ever be in my feminine energy to feel relaxed and safe. And so finally, you know, he ended up coming over and like putting a better lock on the front door, which gave me a little bit more peace of mind. But the thing is, if somebody wants to get in your house, they're going to get in. They can break a window. They can do anything. It's just, if they're going to get in, why make it easy on somebody? Like, make them make the noise. Make them make such a loud noise to have to get in that it wakes a neighbor and the neighbor calls 911. Like, I don't want it to be easy for someone to just slip in and slink in, you know? So, like, yeah, this shit's scary. Like, the world is a scary fucking place. And when you're just a girl all alone, like, having to be this protector for all these kids, like, it is fucking, it's ruined the quality of my life. I'll put it that way. It's truly ruined the quality of my life. And so, you know, my kids will, oh, you're so overprotective. Like, when my daughter wants to go on a bike ride or something, and I'm like, you know, I need you to go with someone. I don't think you should just be going alone. And it's like, you're so overprotective. Like, because I know what's out there. I know what's out there. Like, I've experienced this, and it's like, I don't want to have a grim look of the world. I don't want to have, you know, a grim outlook or think everyone's bad, but you just don't know. And that's the thing. You just don't know. And I've had, you know, I have issues here in this home. Like, without a man here, okay, anybody can say, if something breaks, it sucks. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes, like, if my toilet breaks or like a handle falls off of a cupboard or anything that's, you know, if it's something really truly huge, like one time the heat went out, the water tank or something like that, that's like a landlord thing. Obviously my landlord's going to take care of it, but if it's little things that are just normal maintenance, you know, it's not something I necessarily am going to call the landlord about, but it gets to be like a real irritating problem. Like, when things aren't working properly, it does become an irritating problem. And sometimes I'll post and I'll be like, you know, does anybody, because I do have friends that have husbands, I would feel okay with like a friend and her husband coming into my home to like help me, but like not a stranger. And like, I don't want strange men to know where I live because I've already been hurt so much, you know, and it takes a long time for me to build up trust with someone enough to like allow them access. This is supposed to be my safe space. And I don't just invite random people over. I just don't. And so, like, I will post on Facebook thinking that, my audience that I'm posting for is maybe a friend and her husband can come help with something, or, somebody I already know, or like any of my neighbors, maybe they'll see it and be like, oh, hey, yeah, I can help with this or whatever. But most of the time, I'm getting messages from people who I don't know, who are just Facebook friends, and they're like, hey, I can help you. No problem. I can stop by in a little bit. What's the address? And I'm like, this is probably a great guy, but I can't. I just can't bring myself to just tell another person where my address is. And I find out that one of the kids that my kids went to school with and were friends with ended up getting violated by a pedo guy who started dating the single mom. And this is why I just cannot trust men to just come over and just help me, because I don't know if they're really just nice or if they're trying to scope the scene on how easy it would be to come in and get us. And so because of this, I've had to go without a lot of things that I actually really need. I really do need help. I really do sometimes need someone to just lift up something heavy and move it. I really do need someone to help me scoot some furniture or fix a handle. And I have chosen to play it safe and just go without my needs in order to keep my kids safe. Because if I let someone in and that person ended up being the person who destroyed my children or myself, how could I live with that? I couldn't. I can barely live right now. I'm in a constant state of hypervigilance. And that is because of the way I am forced into it. I don't choose this. Of course I want a partner who's here, who protects, provides. Of course, that's what I want. I didn't get those cards dealt to me. So trying to think of what I want to do. So, this is just the issue here. And so, like I said, a lot of the times I am truly struggling. And then I cry a lot too. I really do. I really just cry from this broken heart. It's just a chronic state of grieving. But it's not like I'm grieving something I ever had. I'm grieving a person that I've never even known. I'm grieving every minute of every day. Every time I go into the kitchen and I'm cooking dinner and my partner isn't there, I'm in grief. I'm feeling the emptiness and the loneliness of never having that. And after putting my trust in the wrong men and getting either raped or mentally and psychologically abused to the point where I thought I was in love, but it wasn't. Um, I am a little bit more on guard to actually make sure that never happens again. I don't want to spend the night in a strange man's house. And as much as I hate that I don't have a sex life or a love life, when somebody invites me over, I'm scared to go. Like, quite frankly, if I do start dating someone, I always request, like, hey, we need to meet in a public place. Like, I would be happy to give you a chance and get to know you if you're serious about getting to know me. But I put it right out there, like, you're not going to just be coming over for a hookup. Like, I really have to feel like it's okay for you to be someone who knows where I live, you know? It's, I don't know if anybody else deals with this, you know? My friend encouraged me to talk about this stuff because, you know, I don't know. I've been saying, you know, I've been having a hard time. I'm not really selling makeup like I would want to. You know, people aren't really shopping on my link, and I go to say, you know, I don't always feel okay. First of all, I don't put on makeup every day. Second of all, I don't always feel okay, or I'm not even able to speak a lot of the times. I can't talk. I'm just so burnt out from not sleeping, or, you know, harassment that I've been dealing with I'd say for the past like 6 months, ever since, you know, I mean, I guess it's been always. I can't even say the past 6 months, but yeah, like, I am hyper vigilant, and it takes a lot out of me to even like stay alive, honestly. And I try to maintain my physical health as much as possible because, you know, I don't want this to take me out. Like, I want to thrive. I want to flourish. And so my friend suggested, well, you know, when I was telling her about, like, this is the kind of stuff I deal with, and she was like, you know, before I met my husband, I was dealing with that too. Like, I would lay on my couch and I would be scared, or I would cry, and she's like, well, why don't you do makeup and talk about it instead of just talking about the makeup? And I'm like, hey, yeah, maybe I'll try that, you know? Because talking about the makeup is one of the things that gets me to not think about this pain I deal with. But not talking about, I'm looking for one specific purple. Not talking about it it's not doing me any good really either. So, I mean, I guess I'm just sharing, like, this is what I deal with, like, daily. You know, and then me and my son, we were watching a scary movie, right? And I hate scary movies. I can't handle it because of all the real life terror I've been through, right? So, like, I would never choose, and in all my life, I have just not watched any. But I love my son so much, and he is so into it, and it's Halloween, and he wants me to watch these scary movies, and so some of them I draw the line at that I will not watch, but Some of the older ones, he's like, oh, it's, you know, it's older. It's only PG-13. Like, but it's the psychological stuff for me that really, really fucks with me. And so a couple weeks ago when we were watching Chucky, The Curse of Chucky, I think it was, because we were going in order. We were watching one like every Sunday, and it was The Curse of Chucky we were watching. And when I tell you, we're like 3/4 of the way into the movie, right? And 11 p.m. I get harassment at my front door, pounding. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. It was like I went into such a shock and freeze. And then when I had to go to the door, I was like, here, stay here, you know, like, take my phone if you need it, like, and I'm going to go answer the door. And what proceeded after that, I can't even speak on right now because it is so fucking horrendous. But yeah, like, I am dealing with some extremely off the wall, heavy shit at all fucking times. And like, the fact of the matter that I was watching something so fucking scary, and then had a real life knock at the door with something else very scary. Like, I am absolutely, I don't have the words to describe the state of being that I am in. Damn it, this is like out from these experiences. I am not in a good state of being, right? I am not, man, I really just need a good lash glue. Where is my lash glue? So yeah, I am not in a good state of being, okay? And I hate that for myself. I hate that for myself. I literally like want to be just a girl, a happy, carefree, feminine girl. And like, because of what I have to deal with, like, I don't get to feel that way. And I hate that for myself. And I don't know what to do. I really don't. I do a lot of like healing stuff to try to like maintain and keep clearing trauma, but it seems like I was almost getting better at the point when that harassment took place during that scary movie. I have not been able to recover from that. And it's been 3 weeks, and I feel like, you know, the anxiety from that has gotten so fucking bad that I'm literally sometimes going numb. And I don't know if it's just because my system is so overloaded. That it's like a trauma, you know, it's a trauma response. I'm not that good at lashes, but I wish I was. So, you know, the other thing that I'm also very, very paranoid about is getting my drink spiked when I'm out. And that's never happened to me. But it's never happened to me because I'm fucking smart about it. I don't trust anyone. Even this guy that like takes me out sometimes, he's just a friend. I've known him for a while, but I don't really know anyone. You don't really know anyone because last time I got raped, it was by somebody I thought was a trustworthy friend. And So this dude, like, I went to the bathroom, and so he decides to go up to the bar, and when I get out of the bathroom, he's like, here, I got you a White Claw, and I'm like, I look at it, it's open, I'm like, I'm not drinking that. I'm not drinking a drink that I don't physically see being opened in front of me. Like, I'm just not. And he's just like, dang, you don't trust me? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, no, I don't trust anyone. Like, I'm not going to be in this strange setting away from home with numerous people. A lot of my friends, of course, a lot of my friends and acquaintances. Him, which I deemed to be trustworthy enough to drive me and take me somewhere and get me home safe. But yeah, when it comes to drinks, being unattended, no. Just no. That shit scares me. I've had friends posting online telling me about their experiences of, oh my God, I drank the water at that party and like I passed out and I don't know what happened and it was really scary and I was an hour away from home. Like, that shit does happen. Men are scary. And like, that's the hard thing. Like, there's good men, there's men that are protectors, but you don't know which one's which, because usually the person doing the abusing to somebody is not some random stranger off the street. I've never had an issue with a stranger off the street doing anything to me. Maybe attempted, but I could get away. But that one guy. Yeah, well, okay, anyway, let's just say 80% of the time, it's someone that you invite into your space, into your life, because that's an easier way in. You know, guys don't necessarily want to bring all the attention of causing a big old ruckus with a stranger. It's easier if you can gain their trust and then drug them or something and just do what you're going to do when they pass out. I will never pass out drunk in front of a man who I'm not sexually attracted to ever again, because I don't trust any man as a friend enough to spend the night with and enough to be out of my senses with. AKA pass out. I will either stay awake or just not even go, or just make sure I get home, and then I will go to sleep at home alone behind my locked doors. So yeah, so mental illness. I really hate this glue, honestly. I hate fucking white glue. I had to buy this on an emergency when I was on my way to a party, and that's all they had at Walgreens. I fucking hate it. I actually love this glue, and it's all gone. And I bought a replacement for that, and I can't freaking find it anywhere. Still in the box. So yeah. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Talking about this kind of shit. It's not pleasant. It's not happy. It's not easy to deal with. It's not ideal at all. I need to do some good lips. I don't know what color. I want to do something like dark purple. I think I might want to do this with some metallic, something metallic and dark over it. But yeah, so like, I'm always doing things to try to like lessen the cortisol in my body. I have a lot of like tools that I use, and those are like coping mechanisms to me. They're not fixing the problem. The problem is being alone. The problem is being alone in the world as a woman. That's the problem. So, all I can do is take the most utmost safety precautions that I can. And a lot of times that means missing out on men, missing out on men's help that may be okay. So I mean, yeah, I do rely on a couple neighbor type guys, like obviously somebody that lives around the corner. I feel safer asking them than somebody random. I don't know where you live. you know these guys on the dating site, it's like, as much as I literally want to date, and like I meet these guys like on the dating sites online, but it never really goes anywhere. But a lot of them are just like, oh yeah, let me come over, I'll keep you company. Like, okay, like I want that, but like I don't know you. I can't just invite a stranger over. It's just, I don't know, guys. If you met your soulmate a long time ago and just had kids by that person and just feel so blessed. Well, anyway, I guess I'm done with my face. I'm going to put on my wig, put on my outfit, and then get out of here. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. If you care to support me by shopping on my makeup link, that would be awesome. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And, that's how that is. Nothing's changed for me. Nothing got better. I thought things would. I was striving. I was trying to be my best self. I was trying to get in that mindset, that money mindset, that abundance. But the fact of the matter is, for me, my circumstances have overridden trying to delulu the salulu, So, I mean, I'm going to keep striving, but sometimes you just look back and it's like, no, there's reasons. There's reasons why I feel the way I feel. And it's really hard to trick myself into just fake it till you make it. Oh, I have an amazing man. I'm so happy. I'm so satisfied. I'm so fulfilled. When my body is hypervigilant because of where I am for real. So, anyway, thank you for watching.